Get ready for a heart-wrenching story of betrayal. Meet Cooper, a man who cherished his family above all else, but was dealt a devastating blow when his own wife had an affair with his own brother. What happened next will leave you speechless. Tune in and listen to his story. Cooper was a very hard-working man who always aimed to be a role model for others. His companion was his wife, Quinn. He and Quinn met in high school and were friends at first, but after Quinn broke up with her boyfriend, they started dating. It had been a steady relationship since then, and they cared for each other and looked after their needs. They were married when they were 25 in a destination wedding, and everything looked perfect. They were happy and doing well, but financially they were struggling. Quinn lost her job due to the 2008 recession, and Cooper's business also struggled. They were staying in the house which Cooper inherited, and even though there was no mortgage, there was a lot they had to manage. Cooper went into a lot of debt from the recession. Finally, they agreed that Cooper needed to be in the next town to manage his business. He opened a branch there, and it was doing well. However, as he could not pay attention to both branches, both were doomed. He decided to sell off the branch he had in his town and move to the other one to make it work. The decision was strategically correct, and they were seeing the results. The financial conditions were coming back to stability, and he came back every weekend. Life was good. Quinn was pregnant a few months later, and they both were ecstatic. His brother, sister, and parents helped Quinn throughout, as her family didn't really stay nearby. He could juggle between his responsibility as a father and maintaining a business, thanks to the support of his family. His twin daughters were adorable, and he loved them. He spoke to Quinn several times about moving to the next town, but she said that it was comfortable in their home, and the arrangement was working fine. It went on for 4 years, and the girls were growing up fast. They just loved their dad, and everything was just picture perfect. Then on Wednesday, Cooper missed his kids too much and decided to head home. He'd gone on weekdays several times before, but always informed Quinn. He tried to reach her on the phone, but it wasn't reachable. He figured it was a network problem and reached his place around 1 p.m. He silently walked into his bedroom and found his brother and wife together on his bed. He just froze there, unable to move or speak. He was in shock. Both of them realized and just freaked out. Quinn started crying and his brother started apologizing. Both of them said it wasn't what it looked like, that it was a moment of weakness and the first time. But Cooper just went silent. He couldn't say or do anything. Tears filled his eyes, and he slowly left for his car. Quinn rushed to try to pull him into the house, but he just kept moving. He drove straight to the next town. His phone was spammed with calls and messages. He was just numb and didn't speak. Cooper managed to call his parents 2 days later. Apparently, his brother tried minimizing everything and said that he was just kissing Quinn and Cooper saw them. But Cooper told them what he saw. His brother wasn't doing much and was mostly managing Cooper's work in the town. Cooper told his parents that his brother was dead to him and he would not see or hear from him ever again. He still had to confront his wife. It was way too much pain for him. But eventually, a week later, he went to his place because he missed his daughters. He saw Quinn, who was a crying mess. She begged him to talk to her. Cooper told her that his brother had confessed everything and she needed to come clean. There was horror on her face, but she took the bait. She eventually told him that their affair started 6 years ago after Cooper left for another town. She felt lonely, and it was only a physical affair. They didn't have any emotional bonding. Cooper cut her out and said that he wasn't listening to any more lies. She could go and have his brother, but the daughters would be with him. Then Quinn dropped a bomb. She said that she was pregnant and they could rebuild everything. She could move with him to the next town and start fresh, but that's when something clicked in Cooper and he started crying. He was broken and asked her whose child this was. Quinn fumbled and said it was Cooper's, but he didn't trust a single word coming out of her mouth. He demanded a DNA test. Unfortunately, in those days, prenatal tests were not so common, so they had to wait until the baby was born. But he decided to test the daughters. In the meantime, his jaw dropped and the world collapsed when he found out he wasn't the father. Quinn was crying inconsolably, seeing how her selfish acts had destroyed this man. Cooper just went silent. There was no way his brother was owning up to his responsibility. He loved his daughters, but he just went silent and asked her to leave his house once the baby was born. He gave her the option to find a place for herself, and the daughters would be safe with him. In the meantime, Quinn wasn't ready to agree, but she knew there was no coming back. After Quinn delivered the baby boy, he was DNA tested, and again Cooper was not the father. He kind of expected that, but it made his life easier. He could not file for divorce before the child was born, but he did so right after. He refused to be on his birth certificate. His brother didn't even show up at the hospital. He had already moved in with another woman. Quinn knew what she had done. She became a single mother to 3 children at the age of 35. The biological fathers of her children were not ready to take any responsibility and weren't even paying child support. Cooper loved his daughters and remained in their lives, but he was a different man after the discovery. He was distant from everything and everyone. He had trust issues and went for therapy, but it hardly helped him for the first few years. He hasn't dated or married anyone till now and has dedicated himself to his work. His twin daughters are very close to their dad, even after they were told the truth. They have moved in with their dad as their mother could not afford a house for all 4. They visit their mother every weekend. She stays in a 1-bedroom crappy apartment with her son. She works at a local restaurant. Her son is growing up well, but he never gets the best of things like his daughters got, thanks to the child support. Every decision in life has consequences, but the sad part is that the consequences are not only meant for one party. Cooper only loved his family, but he was betrayed in the worst possible way. He would probably never recover, or it would be a long time before he once again enjoys life. He wasn't at fault, but his only fault was trusting people who were not worthy. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and comments about this heartbreaking story of Cooper and his family. It's important to me to hear your perspective and have a discussion about it. Let's connect in the comments section below. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel to stay updated with my daily uploads. New videos will be posted every day at the same time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.